That is an interesting point, and I'm curious as to why you think that Donald Trump is making gains in that specific demographic.
Well, I think it's because Joe Biden isn't. Joe Biden isn't talking to people. He went to Charleston a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about the black vote and how he was was representative of black interest. With trying to get inflation down, creating more jobs. But it didn't really strike a chord because his main message is about Donald Trump being a threat to democracy. So I don't necessarily think that I do think that Donald Trump's message is much sharper to every single community, and Joe Biden's isn't. So I don't necessarily think that it's something that Donald Trump is saying. I think that it's what Joe Biden is not saying. So that's I think a really interesting thing for everybody to keep an eye on.
That's a really interesting point. And before I let you go, I jotted down something that you said when you were talking about DeSantis, that he did not meet the moment. And it reminded me of a young star of the GOP back in 2016, and that was Marco Rubio.
Yes.
So do you think a DeSantis now could be the future of the GOP in 4 years, or is that moment gone?
Well, he could be. I mean, in politics, it's like, nobody's ever really down. You can always come back, and that's what President Trump did. So yes, I mean, Ron DeSantis can go back and be an effective governor because he is an effective governor. He has done so much for his state, and he ran on his record. He talked about the great things that he did in Florida. So I think this is just really a bump in the road for him. He can go back and be a great governor and then try to come back in 4 years when Trump is essentially out of the picture, and be that person who is as tough as Trump, but as more likable.
Gail Gitcho, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to see you.